Let's see what happens here on the 7th. Well, Rich, that's a shot they'd like to have back again for sure.
Golf is a game of patience and skill. It's about taking your time, choosing the right tools for the job, and lining up that perfect shot. It can be slow to watch, sure, but it can also be exhilarating to play. PGA Tour 2K21 seeks to step onto the green with a game that delivers on that experience. And while it succeeds, some technical issues and low production values hold the game back. PGA 2K21 is the first game in the series to bear the 2K moniker. Originally self-published by developer HB Studios under the title The Golf Club, the series was acquired by 2K a couple of years ago. One might think this would be a boon for the franchise. After all, 2K isn't exactly a small publisher. They should be able to provide the resources necessary to make a truly state-of-the-art golfing simulator. Unfortunately though, despite 2K's involvement, PGA Tour still feels distinctly low budget at times. Visually, the game is all over the place. The environments look decent enough, there's some nice water and lighting effects, and the graphics are distinct enough to tell the fairway from the rough. Character models are well animated, but the models don't hold up well, especially faces. The eyes open too wide for too long, and the mouths are a frightening sight. This wouldn't be a problem if the game didn't do frequent close-ups after most holes. The game also suffers from a serious anti-aliasing problem. Sometimes it gets so bad that objects actually appear to shimmer as a result of the artifacting. In the audio department too, the game is a mixed bag. The music is pleasant enough, but short and repetitive. There's only so many times I can hear the same soft, pseudo-jazz piano riffs before I start to get tired of them. The announcers, meanwhile, have good delivery, but their commentary can sometimes feel out of place. It seems like not enough lines were recorded to cover all the circumstances on the green. There were more than a few times where I would start a course with a poor performance, coming in at 1 or 2 over par, but I would manage to pull it together in the end, coming in well under par on the final holes. At the end of the game, the commentators would talk as though I'd been solidly under par for the entire course, making no mention of my rough start or of my comeback in the final few holes. Compared to other games I've reviewed like MLB The Show and UFC 4, the commentary feels lacking. It repeats too often and oftentimes doesn't match up with the on-screen action. The game also suffers from some slow loading times between matches. The duration was pretty inconsistent. Sometimes a course would load fairly quickly, but after matches, it often took a long time to return to the menu. I'm not quite sure why, but after the very opening match of the career mode, the game took over 5 full minutes to load the career mode menu after the match. The inconsistent load times are frustrating, and it's actually made worse that you can't count on them to at least always take a long time. Sometimes courses load quickly, other times the game seems to slow to a snail's pace. It's a shame that the game still suffers so much on the technical side of things despite 2K's financial backing. It's unfortunate because despite these issues, the game is actually a lot of fun to play. The experience out on the green is an absolute joy and really nails the high skill feeling of professional golf. The controls are smooth, fluid, and responsive. The game gives you plenty of options to help you fine-tune your approach, including a bird's eye view that helps you more precisely aim your shots. The swinging and putting mechanics are simple to grasp, and the game does a great job of easing beginners into the experience without sacrificing the depth that more experienced players desire.
Oh, that sounded absolutely flushed.
The game offers plenty of assists, including a one-time aim assist during putts. The game will also help you pick the clubs and stroke every time, meaning those with a more casual understanding of the sport can rely on the game's assistance to help them get a decent performance. But those who want to can ignore or even disable these assists altogether, and if you do so, the game is a well-made golf simulation. The physics are realistic, clear, and consistent. The ball always interacts with hills, wind, and other hazards exactly as you'd expect it to, and the game does a great job of simulating the differences between the fairway, rough, and bunker. Swinging in different situations actually feels different. Unfortunately, while the experience out on the golf course is excellent across the board, even the rest of the career mode suffers from the same lack of polish as the rest of the game. There simply isn't much here to keep you going if you aren't totally invested in the actual experience of playing golf. The career mode is fairly bare bones. You start off with an amateur match, which serves as your proving grounds for entering the professional circuits. From there, you enter the PGA Tour, vying for the top spot on the leaderboards. Unfortunately, that's really all there is to it. Unlike other sports games nowadays, which implement things like social media, training, and skill points to keep things interesting interesting off the field, 2K21 simply moves you along from one game to the next, with little in between to keep you engaged. You earn cash after each game, and from optional mid-course challenges, but these rewards can only be used to purchase new clubs and outfits. The new clubs do have some mechanical differences, but not enough to really feel like they make a difference. I didn't notice much of a difference between the default clubs and any of the unlockable ones. The cosmetics, meanwhile, are just that, cosmetics. The quality is pretty hit or miss, and aside from changing how you look, they don't really do anything. This is a far cry from many other sports games where your downtime can be spent training, upgrading your skills, and interacting with fans and rivals. The game does have a rival system, but even this feels outdated. Unlike other games where your rivalries grow organically based on your behavior on and off the field, in PGA 2K21, you simply progress through a series of predetermined rivals. You can actually look in the career mode and see your progress to unlocking the next rival. I suppose it adds a bit of a goal to strive for, but compared to the organic way rivalries operate in other sports games, this feels dated and uninteresting by comparison. PGA Tour 2K21 offers a decent golfing experience that genuinely rewards skill and practice. The gameplay on the green is a lot of fun and really makes you want to keep playing. Unfortunately, it's really the only thing that drives you on, as the rest of the experience feels dated by several years. It's a shame because with some more polish put into the visuals and modes, PGA Tour 2K21 could have been a standout sports game. As it sits, it's only a decent one.
Good stroke. Well hold.
PGA Tour 2K21 feels like the best sports game released 10 years ago. Unfortunately, it just feels too dated to truly compete with other, more modern sports games. And that wraps it up. If you like what we are doing, please consider subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to switch on the bell notification icon. That way you will never miss out on any of our videos.